Imagine sitting shoulder to shoulder in the pitch black. The sea is rough, violently tossing the metal landing craft up and down. No one speaks. Every young soldier in this boat knows that when that ramp drops, they might not survive the next 5 minutes. To understand why these men were willing to face those odds, we have to pull back. It's June 1944, and World War II has been tearing the globe apart for 5 grueling years. A massive portion of the European continent is firmly in the grip of Nazi Germany. To stop the Axis powers, the Allies have to break that hold. The strategy to break it is called Operation Overlord. The plan demands a massive amphibious invasion, an assault moving men, tanks, and supplies directly from the sea onto heavily fortified enemy beaches. The objective is the liberation of Western Europe. To achieve it, the Allies will have to execute a logistical and tactical strike on a scale that has never been attempted in human history. You cannot simply sail thousands of ships at a guarded coast without being noticed. The Allies needed absolute secrecy to keep the German army from massing their heavy armor at the landing site. To get that secrecy, they built a ghost army. They flooded the airwaves with false radio messages and set up entire phantom divisions, deploying inflatable tanks like this one to trick German reconnaissance planes. The ruse worked. German commanders believed the real attack would hit miles away at Pas-de-Calais, leaving their main forces out of position for the actual invasion. With the enemy looking the wrong way, the real assault begins in the pre-dawn hours of June 6th. Before a single boat crosses the channel, thousands of paratroopers drop blindly into the dark, deep behind enemy lines. Their job is highly specific. They have to capture vital bridges and cut off the roads, ensuring that German reinforcements cannot rush to the shoreline once the sun comes up. By combining widespread deception on the ground with surgical airborne strikes in the dark, the Allies created a critical window of confusion, disrupting the enemy's ability to react before the first boats hit the sand. Then, daylight breaks. Thousands of ships and aircraft swarm the English Channel, forming an armada that completely fills the horizon. This map shows the exact routes that 156,000 Allied soldiers took across the water, converging on 5 specific target zones along the French coast. Managing an invasion this size meant coordinating simultaneous assaults on 5 beachheads: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. At Omaha Beach, the grand plans immediately fall apart. The moment the metal ramps drop, American soldiers step into heavy machine gun fire, wading through freezing water to reach the shoreline. The troops are at a severe geographical disadvantage. German bunkers and artillery are heavily fortified into the steep cliffs, giving the defenders a sweeping, unobstructed view of the exposed beach. Pushing forward requires sheer willpower. Combat engineers crawl through fire to dismantle traps and blow up steel obstacles, painfully clearing a path inch by inch. The human toll mounts rapidly. Army medics sprint across the sand, risking their own lives to treat severe casualties directly in the line of fire. All the brilliant logistical blueprints in the world could only deliver the men to the coast. The actual success of the invasion came down to the terrifying, micro-level sacrifices of young men surviving a chaotic meat grinder. By the end of June 6th, the Allies successfully carve out their coastal footholds, but the cost is staggering, with thousands of soldiers killed, wounded, or missing in a single day. Breaching the Atlantic Wall provides the Allies with the permanent entry point they need. Over the following weeks, thousands of additional troops, tanks, and supplies move through these beachheads and into the heart of the continent. The momentum shifts rapidly. The German army is steadily pushed out of France, culminating in the liberation of Paris just over 2 months later. D-Day provided the critical breach. Less than a year after those men stormed the beaches, Nazi Germany is forced into total surrender, effectively ending the war in Europe. If you walk the beaches of Normandy today, the landscape is incredibly quiet. The deafening artillery fire of 1944 has been replaced by the soft sound of waves rolling onto the sand. But standing right above that sand are vast cemeteries and stone memorials, serving as a permanent, solemn reminder of the immense human cost paid by those who never made it home. D-Day remains the largest amphibious invasion in recorded history. It was a singular morning of extraordinary sacrifice and a victory that secured the future of the modern free world. If you enjoyed this dive into history, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing stories.